And good morning and welcome to the Wicked Good Golf Show. I'm Steve Scott, your host, along with my playing partner, Jimmy the Bomber Bombard. And you're probably wondering, why are we standing up today? Well, that's because we got two exciting golf tips for you, or basically something that we need to talk about in terms of what you can do better in terms of your swing, right, Jimmy?
You got it, absolutely.
And the other thing that we're going to wind up doing is doing a golf tip, which is going to be focused on
A little bit of hinging, ball position, and kind of a little bit of setup.
ball position. So ball position, hinging, all those good things that we need to make sure we do better. And that's probably some of the things you see constantly when it comes to people coming down to the range and practicing and getting ready. Right now it's beautiful weather out there, and hopefully, raining will come soon enough and green everything up, because the course is getting a little bit
really
hard
dry,
right now,
yeah.
right?
Really dry and fast already.
I know it was hard to hold the greens when I played the other day, and
So
it was hard
actually,
early, right?
this tip I'm going to give you will help you with that. Hitting a high, soft shot.
Do I have any problem hitting high?
You don't. Why come you didn't hold the greens?
Because they were like cement.
They were cement? All right.
Anyways, but that's beside the point. We're going to do all this stuff for you. We're going to give you these swing flaws and say, how do we really want to approach hitting a ball and hitting it crisp? You've heard all about, good ball strikers.
Yep.
Is that really what we're after, is the great contact?
Yeah, you want to hit the ball. Obviously, you want to hit the ball. The best two combination, power and accuracy, right?
Right.
Some people have one or the other. Very rarely have both, right?
If you have both, you're playing on the PGA Tour,
you're somewhere
right?
else, exactly. You're not hanging around here. But so power and accuracy, and I believe, luckily, they're located in the same area. But trying to get the club head square through the ball with a little better understanding of how that happens in relationship to how the hands work, as we did some of the other tips.
Yeah, we've done grip. We've
done grip, and I showed you the angles with the sticks.
Right.
And a little bit of the routine as far as getting in there, getting set up the same way each time.
Right.
Today is going to be a little bit about kind of what happens when this club starts going and what we want to do with it.
Because you can't really control that consciously. That's got to be a repeatable action that you really don't think about.
It takes about a second and a half, so it's hard to really give it much thought as you're doing it, but you can work a lot of stuff out through different types of drills.
Right.
And obviously a clear idea of what you're intending to do in that second and a half, you understand?
So
as opposed to being all cloudy and not really knowing what's going on.
And we've talked about this on the radio, in our radio show on WCRN, that, everything leading up to that's what you should be thinking of. Once you get to that point,
once it's go time, it's go time.
Then go.
Yeah, exactly.
And then do it. But how do you get to that point? How do you do it is what we're after today, right?
We're after, yeah. So
how do you do it?
Some of the major flaws that I see all the time, I'll throw this ball down on the ground, a little bit of reference, but what I see constantly, and if you went up and down the road, down the row at East Coast watching people hit golf balls, everybody has this, they're always trying to lift it up in the air.
Right.
They're falling backwards and they're hitting it on an upswing like this, just time after time. Now, you can get lucky once in a while and get that club under the ball, but for the most part, it's really not the attack you want to take, hitting the ball.
And you have no distance control at that point, too, because the loft of your club is predicated on distance, isn't it?
No distance and really no compression on the hit, as opposed to it being hit more on the down blow, creating more compression down there. So that's one of the things as far as weight shift and all that stuff.
Okay, so how do you go about doing that?
The first thing is, what you need to understand is when we swing this club, it actually is on an orbit, if you can see. And again, I'm using my left arm because that's really the one that kind of guides it, okay? So there's a low point in this arc, would you agree? Mm-hmm. And it roughly happens, no matter where it is, happens in your feet, it does always line up with your left shoulder, okay? So that would be the low point.
Okay.
All right? So if I put the ball back off my, a little bit back in my stance towards my right foot, and again, this low point of this arc is actually somewhere out in front of the ball. Okay, you need to keep driving the club down to that low point. Most people, when they have the ball in this position, they fall backwards, and now they've changed that low point. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. So the way the hinging goes, so you want to stay over here, and when the ball's back with your iron, that's how you do it. You send the club down this direction into the ball, and it lows out, again somewhere out over here. So most people they're concerned with where the ball is in their stance. It's really how it relates to the left shoulder. Obviously, your right shoulder,
Right.
as you look at this, and the way the arc works. So we can get down, always hitting the ball more on the downswing. So if the intention is to hit it on the downswing, you can just see if I keep the club going on the downswing, I'm going this way. The weight's going over to the left.
And you're going to finish on your left side. You're going to hit the ball first, and that's when you take the divot after.
Yeah, good ball strikers, the low point in their irons is 2 to 4 inches in front of that ball.
So you're saying that where they're contacting the ground is somewhere out here
Yes.
after they contact the
There.
ball.
Which, again, if I line this ball up with my left shoulder,
Right,
that is my low point. So if I swung like that, that's a good way to hit a nice cut shot.
right.
Because my low point's done. That's going to be like a cleaner hit. Does that make
Okay.
sense? It's not
Yep.
going to be like a down deep
So if you want to
divot.
move the ball, if you're right-handed left to right,
Yeah.
you're going to move the ball up in your stance a little bit further.
And that's why when you hit a wood or
Right.
driver that you got out off the left, well, that low point is there. So that's why you never really hit the ground with your driver.
Right.
You know, it's just
You're
where
not
that.
supposed to hit the ground with your driver?
No. You do
Some
drop
of-
kicks. You do little
so-
drop kicks once in a while.
I think so.
But yeah, exactly. So it's where the position is in relation to the left shoulder.
Okay.
But you know, the intent always is to be driving this club down into the ball, where most people are falling back.
And that's probably the
just
most
stuck.
common thing you see.
Most
is
common.
that, is that guys are trying to lift up,
Yeah.
front shoulder goes up.
I mean, for how long I've been teaching this game? 30 years. This one concept, this hitting down on the ball, I'm constantly trying to search the internet and find different ways to deliver this to my
The
students,
message,
because
right.
it's the hardest one that they can grasp. This hitting down through the ball.
We got about a minute left in this segment. You know, if you can give our viewers one thing that they can take with them to the range, that they can practice and do some drill, what would it be?
The drill would be try to practice with the ball off your right foot
Okay.
in a sand wedge or a pitching wedge,
Yep.
and you're just simply going to hit little shots. Your hands are going to go about waist high to waist high, but the idea is that the club's going to be driven down into that ball, going down into the ball, not falling back and up. And when you finish, you'll feel your weight over on your left side.
And that's how you want to finish too. You see those great finishes.
The
how
momentum
everybody
of the
looks,
club. Yep.
And you get over on your right, for me it would be my right side, for everybody else it would
Yeah.
be their left side. But get over on your right side and get that weight shift.
And if the club
That
goes,
lines up
I believe
happy.
if the club goes down and through, the momentum will go there.
And then dovetailing on our previous swing thought was, as you hit, you follow the club with your head
Watch
up
the ball.
and get the ball
And not
up.
keep your head down.
Don't
Yeah,
keep
so
your head
if,
down.
If you go down through with it, your body will come naturally up.
Rotate up.
If you get stuck here, you know, you get stuck and the body doesn't do
And
what
the
it
body
needs to
doesn't
do.
rotate.
Yep, very good point.
All right, well, that's a good swing tip for us right now. And then we're going to be, when we come back, we're going to talk about the hinge, which I've not seen before, and he's got this new thing for me, and we're going to see if that
A
actually
new old
works.
thing.
A little thing? All right, we'll be back with more Wicked Good Golf Show right after this.
There must be something wrong with my car. All my friends here to bother me out. All my friends here to bother me. I just hope I clear the